the fourth predictor that predicts real estate profits is not crime, it's change in crime. So what you want to do is you want to look for a number, and I'll tell you where you're going to go look for it, and you want that number to be below 450. Most people believe that crime in the United States is increasing. That's not the case. Crime did increase in 2020, the COVID year. Kind of a crazy year, so that's pretty normal. And it sort of plateaued in 2021. But if you look at the last 2 decades, crime in the US universally has been decreasing. CNBC won't tell you this, neither will Fox News, but their job is to scandalize the news. Crime is reducing. So it's very important that you do not invest in a city where crime is flat or is increasing. You want a certain crime level, that's that 450 level that's on the screen in front of you, and you want that number going downwards at a pretty high velocity. So I would say, for example, if a city was at 650 and it's now at 450, well, that city is doing pretty well. The crime dropped 200, metrics. This is just a raw number. What you don't want is a city that is at 600 and has dropped to 560 and I'll show you where those two numbers are. Because that city, the crime's dropping, but it's dropping really, really slowly, much slower than the US. Right? Make sense? Now, the good news is, this metric, the 451, is not going to change in 2024. So you can still apply this in 2024, maybe even 2025. Crime statistics tend to change once every 3 to 5 years. They don't change every year. So this one has some longevity. But still, I prefer that you come back in January 2024 and get the new number. Who knows what might happen between now and then for crime. Now, where do you plug that number in and where do you get it? First, let's talk about where you get it. Well, it's on the same page, that same city data page, but now you're going to need to scroll down a fair bit. So I'm going to go, oops, what the heck did I do? I think I dragged something and it disappeared. Here it is, it's back. All right, so I'm going to keep scrolling down, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I'm going to go past this table. I'm going to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling until I come to this section. Do you see this? Right? So you see this number here, and then you see this number on the right. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Right? Okay, there we go. House of the Dragon. I'm actually looking forward to that, Anna. House of the Dragon coming August 21st.
I am as well.
Game of Thrones. Yes, I'm looking forward to that. So right now, because I zoomed, I'm going to zoom out because this is actually going to be hard to explain if I don't zoom out. So sorry about going back, but what I'm trying to show you is this table here, this blue table here, is where you look for the crime numbers. See the murders and the rapes and the robberies and the assaults. You're going to ignore all of them. You're just going to look at this last line, this blue colored line, right? And what this line is showing you is how this city, whatever city you picked, has progressed over time in crime. Remember, all cities in the US have seen, well, not all, but almost every city in the US has seen a reduction in crime. So that's normal. But what you want to see is a substantial reduction. So Columbus was way above the 450 level. So it was in the danger zone in 2006 and in 2007, but then it slowly started to drop. And by 2014, it was in a really good place, 423. Remember, 450 or below is a good number. And then it sort of bounced around because it's kind of hard to even be in the 400s, especially if you're a Rust Belt city. But then look to see what's happening now. It's continuing its drop. I can tell you why crime is dropping in Columbus. Columbus is becoming an expensive city and it's pushing out poor people. Now, it's very non-PC to say this, but from a data scientist perspective, I hope you don't beat me up for saying this. Crime is correlated to poverty. Places like Malibu have much lower crime than places like Southeast Detroit. There is a correlation, and I'm simply using data science, so don't kill me. But as the city of Columbus pushes out poor people and brings in richer people, its crime is dropping. And you see that effect in 2018 and in 2019. I have no doubt that this will continue. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to use that Excel spreadsheet. Let's go grab that Excel spreadsheet again. And what you're doing is you're going to the right of the spreadsheet to this fourth section here. And what you're doing is you're saying, okay, what was the crime index in the most recent year? So for Columbus, I think it was 361, might be off by a little bit. And then what was that crime index 15 years ago? Well, it was more like 660, right? These are not exact numbers. I'm just trying to move through this quickly. Wow, look at that. Any number over 100 is pretty good in terms of crime reduction, but 300? This city is going places. It's gone from being typical Rust Belt to being, ooh, wow, this is investment grade. So these are really good numbers. And so Columbus really aces real focus, number 4.